Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. I'm Fina, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I read in November. So November was a slow reading month for me, and when I say slow, I mean really slow. I only read 3 books in November, and I think a lot of that was due to NaNoWriMo. I was spending a lot of my free time writing. I was writing so much every day that it just sapped a lot of my free time and I didn't have as much time to read as I normally do. But I'm super happy with how I did during Nano, and I'm so thrilled that I managed to write the entire 50,000 words, and it just blows my mind that I was able to do that. So I am really happy with what I accomplished this month anyway. If you guys would like to see some more of my post-Nano thoughts, I can definitely make a video all about that. So if you'd like to see it, please let me know in the comments down below. So the first book that I read in November was Sweep, the Story of a Girl and Her Monster by Jonathan Auxier. This book just means so much to me. Rereading it was so amazing and wonderful. I ended up reading it in like 2 days, and I just had so much fun with this reread. So Sweep, the Story of a Girl and Her Monster is about a girl named Nan Sparrow who is a chimney sweep, and one day she gets trapped in a chimney fire and is rescued by this strange creature, and they develop a friendship. And it is just one of the most heartwarming books, and I think that everyone should read it. I think that it deserves so much more praise and attention than it's getting, because I honestly think that it's so well written, and I really genuinely think that it could become a classic someday. It just has that vibe, you know? And there's just so many things that I love about this book. I just love the friendships, I love the characters. I think Jonathan Auxier's writing is just so beautiful. It's simple enough that kids can understand it easily, but it also just has a timeless vibe. I really like to compare Jonathan Auxier's books to C.S. Lewis's books because it kind of has that same feeling, you know? Because the Chronicles of Narnia were intended for children, but adults all over the world read them and enjoy them and love them, and I really feel like that's the same feeling that I get from Jonathan Auxier's books. I actually only started reading Jonathan Auxier's books when I was like 17, 18, and I think that they're all so amazing and have so much merit, and I just wish that they would get more recognition because I really feel like they deserve it. So I highly recommend this book. It has some really amazing character development, some amazing writing, and it also has some elements of Jewish folklore woven into the plot, which I thought was really cool as well. So I definitely suggest that if this looks even remotely interesting to you, to check it out, because I do not think that you will regret it. The next book that I read in November was Taken at the Flood by Agatha Christie. This is one of the Poirot mysteries, and honestly, I had a bit of a roller coaster ride with this one. So it started out really slowly. The mystery only really picked up around 50% of the way through, and that kind of disappointed me because, you know, the first half was kind of a slog to get through, but once the mystery actually started, it was interesting. There were some interesting developments with the plot that I thought was really good, and then the epilogue came. And the epilogue made me furious. Normally when I read a book, the ending doesn't ruin the rest of the book for me. Like, I really haven't had that happen before. And this book, the ending just ruined everything for me. I hated it so much. And I ended up rating this book 2 stars, and the only reason that I did that was because I thought the mystery was decent once it actually got started, but oh my gosh, that epilogue was infuriating. I can't even talk articulately about this because it just made me so freaking angry. And if you want to know more about why it made me so angry, you should definitely go to my Goodreads review, and I talk about the spoiler and everything, and you should definitely read other people's spoiler-filled reviews because, oh my gosh, there are some people who also agree with me about this, and just, oh wow, like, the book is old, but it's not it's not that old. And oh my gosh, like, did not expect that from one of Agatha Christie's books. Like, I genuinely love most of Agatha Christie's books. I've read several now and I've enjoyed most of them, but this one just made me so angry that I cannot endorse it at all. And I honestly, I hated it. And I will be linking my review along with some other people's reviews about why that is the case. And if you want to know more, just check out those links, because I think that they'll explain everything that you need to know. And the last book that I read in November was A Time to Dance by Padma Venkatraman. This book was so beautiful. I really, really loved it. It's about a girl who is a dancer, but she gets into a car accident and her foot has to be amputated. And so this book basically follows her journey as she relearns how to dance. And it was amazing. It was so beautiful. The writing was really, really nice. It's written in verse, which I didn't realize until just before I picked it up, but I think that it works so well for this book. The author's descriptions and the way that she wove in all of these rich cultural details was just amazing, and it made the book feel so rich and vibrant, and it made the setting of the book feel so real and vibrant, and it was amazing. I really, really loved seeing the main character's character growth. I thought that it was beautiful. And while some of the side characters were definitely not as well developed as I think they could have been, I still really, really appreciate this book. There isn't really much more that I can say about this book because, again, it's a novel in verse. It's kind of short. There isn't a ton of stuff happening in the book, but I did really, really love it, and I do recommend it. I think that it's incredible. And if you are looking to read more novels in verse, I would definitely recommend this book. And the last book that I want to talk about is one that I DNF'd this month, and that was The Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst. I've been trying to read more adult fantasy novels, and so I picked up this one, and I went into it without any real expectations. I didn't have any high expectations, no low expectations. It just looked mildly interesting, so I picked it up. And wow, there's a lot to unpack here. So first of all, the magic school trope is not one that I genuinely love. I generally don't like it, actually. The only time that I've actually seen it done well is in Harry Potter, and I don't think that it was done well in The Queen of Blood at all. The world building was interesting. I liked the world building, but the characters, I just didn't like them. They just felt kind of flat to me, and I didn't connect with them. I didn't care about them. And so I was reading it. I kept hoping that it was going to get better. I was at around the 50% mark, and then this scene happened, and I put it down because it made me uncomfortable. And then my overdrive hold expired, so I had to return it to the library, and then I borrowed it again, and it just sat on my bookshelf in overdrive for a while, and I had no motivation to continue listening to it. And so I returned it, and I honestly have no regrets. I don't feel like I'm ever going to continue this book. I did not enjoy it enough. I wasn't enjoying it at all, and I did get 50% of the way through, and so I kind of just was feeling like I'd invested so much time in this book already that I really didn't want to quit, but like, why would I want to invest even more time in a book that I'm not loving? So yeah, I feel bad because it seems like every single time I've tried to branch out of my reading comfort zone and read more adult books, I always manage to find the bad ones. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, you guys. And I wish that I could find some more adult fantasy books that I genuinely love that aren't by Brandon Sanderson, because I would love to, be able to read adult fantasy books by other authors and just, have a more diverse reading experience, where I'm not just reading Brandon Sanderson's adult fantasy and that's it. I genuinely wish that I could find books in the adult genre that I enjoy, but so far, like, I've not had very great success with it, especially in the adult fantasy genre. Like, I'm still just sticking with Brandon Sanderson's adult fantasy because those are the only adult fantasy books that I've read that I genuinely love. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong, you guys. I genuinely don't know what I'm doing wrong. If you guys have any recommendations, please let me know in the comments down below because I would love to get some recommendations from you guys. I do intend to try more books by Sarah Beth Durst in the future. There is one book, Race the Sands, that I am interested in reading. I think it's a standalone too, which is good. And I hope that it's better, and I hope that I have a better experience with it than I did with the Queen of Blood, but I'm very disappointed with the Queen of Blood, and I don't think that I'll be continuing it. I don't think that I'll be continuing the series, and that's disappointing to me because, like, I did want to like it, but I don't know, you guys. I think I'm doing something wrong. So those were all of the books that I read in November. Have you read any of these books? And if so, what did you think of them? What was your favorite read of November? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content. I post videos every Monday and Friday. I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.